I remember a lot of people say to me, you will meet some guy, fall in love, and you will never go to Germany. So every time some guy tried to invite me on a date, I was like, I'm moving to Germany. Yeah, I got around 5 scholarships in Germany or 6 already. I stopped counting. My German became worse after I moved to Germany. Except that I began to sort trash. Ordnung, muss sein. It was just polite way to say bye. It was awful, and I felt like I got a huge burnout after that. That's really important to have some social engagement experience. The good news are that there are a lot of international students. In Germany, as a student, you actually have super good quality of life.
Good day, dear friends. I am Vadim, an Erasmus Mundus student, and this is More Than Studying podcast, where international students share their experiences of studying abroad and much more. I hope the stories collected in this podcast are not only helpful, but also inspiring. Remember, what we did, you can also do. Just give it a try. Today my guest is Olga. She is from Russia and is now doing her bachelor's in University of Hamburg. Hi, Olga.
Hello. It's so nice to be there. Hello, everyone listening to this podcast.
Oh, it seems that you have a lot of energy this
Yes, I'm excited.
Tell me, please, a bit more. How did you become an international student, and why did you actually choose, to be an international student?
Oh, yeah, it's a quite interesting story. It wasn't my plan to become international student. Yeah, I was just thinking about making a master, getting master degree in Germany, one day. But I wouldn't say that I really decided for 100% to move to Germany and so on at this point. And then I decided, why can't I just give it a try? And I decided to participate in an exchange program. I won a scholarship from scholarship program Copernicus Hamburg. And because of that, I came to Germany, to Hamburg for exchange semester. And I began to study at University Hamburg. My program is business informatics.
Okay, why actually Germany?
Yeah, I didn't have English at school. I learned only German, so I didn't have a lot of choice when it's coming to moving abroad. I needed to choose some German-speaking country because that's the only one foreign language I knew.
Okay, I will later ask you about your experience in this country, in Hamburg in general. But could you also tell me more about the scholarship? How did you win it? How did you win it? And also, I know that you have a lot of scholarships, right?
Yes, right. Yeah, I got around 5 scholarships in Germany or 6 already. Yeah, I stopped counting. It wasn't really difficult. Usually you just need to provide your CV, your resume. You need to write motivational letter. In my program, there was a list of questions you need to answer. Questions were like, where are you going to work? What do you want to do? And in Germany, and so on and so on. I also shared some of my achievements there. After that, I was shortlisted and I had an interview. I wouldn't say that it was super difficult. The questions were standard. I expected that it will ask about some, some popular place in Hamburg, and I will be supposed to know about that to show my motivation, but it didn't happen, and I was happy about that. Mostly they ask what do I study at university? Where do I live in St. Petersburg, in the dormitory or in the apartment? Do I get some scholarship there? Do I pay for my studying? Where did I learn German? How do I improve my German level? Am I going to move to Germany? What are my goals there if I come for an exchange semester? Really typical questions. They also ask, by the way, it's really important. They also ask if I have any family members, any relatives or close friends in Germany. I was a little bit confused when I heard this question because I thought that I'm supposed to have somebody there. I thought it will be advantage. But then I found out that actually it's bad if you have some relatives here because in this case, they think that you may stay in Germany and their goal is that you will come back to Russia. So yeah, it's a tricky question. I don't advise like lying, but I also kind of advise, yeah, just not emphasize that you have some close people or relatives there. Yeah, this was my only one interview when we talk about scholarship. All other scholarships I won without any interviews. I just sent motivation letters, CVs, and so on and so on. That's really important to have some social engagement experience, meaning like voluntary job and so on. I had around 25 projects, but trust me, it's not supposed to be so like many. You can do way less. You can do 1 or 2 projects, but you can describe your experience in the way it will sound like you're really cool.
So you have to present yourself in the best light. Okay, what are you doing actually besides studying?
Yeah, I work at a pretty big international company which produces cosmetics. Also, some teams work with a health care area. And I work there as a working student. Actually, before moving to Europe, I didn't know about this concept that you can work around 20 hours during your studying time. It is not really easy to get job if you don't have any connections. But yeah, thanks to my scholarship program, I managed to get an internship in this company. And then I work hard and I just ask if I can stay as a working student. They said yes. And yeah, from this time I work there, I'm pretty happy about that because I want to be a project manager, and in my team there are mostly project managers, so I'm in the perfect spot.
Is it actually difficult to combine work and study? Because like I think that many international students who are thinking about moving abroad, they consider this opportunity to work like a student assistant, for example, like these 20 hours per week. But like from your experience, is it actually doable?
It's manageable, but you need to understand what you want. What are your goals? If you want to finish university, like to get bachelor degree in 3 years, exactly in 3 years, or even earlier, then no, I can't imagine that you work and study at the same time.
Yeah.
But if you understand that you're okay with finishing it a little bit later, like 1 semester or 2 semester later, it's okay. You can do it. It's super manageable. Why am I saying that? Because in Germany, at my university, you need to take around 30 ECTS. It's around 6 or 5 modules per semester to finish it at the time, like after 3 years. And I tried it 2 times. First time when I have done that, I didn't work because I just moved to Germany. And it was okay. It was not super difficult, to be honest. But after that, I decided to repeat this experience last semester, and it was awful. It was awful, and I felt like I got a huge burnout after that, and I didn't have life. So every weekend I was just studying. That's it. That was super bad. I wouldn't recommend that. And also what I want to mention, it's totally okay to make your study time longer. Because I don't know how it's in other countries, but in Russia we are so focused on achieving like this goal at some time, and like after 4 years exactly, and you can do it later or like earlier, it's super fixed. Here you're super flexible. Somebody is studying 3 years, somebody 4, somebody 5, somebody is doing bachelor degree and master degree at the same time. They're traveling, they're working, they do whatever they want, they're changing faculties. In Germany, as a student, you actually have super good quality of life, because your dormitory, for example, won't cost so much like apartments. You can live in the center of the town, of the city. If you get a place at the dormitory, it's another story. But also at the same time, you earn a lot as a working student, way more than at other like smaller towns, and you can really enjoy your life. In Germany, the situation is really difficult. There are 2 types of dormitories, like private dormitories and kind of social dormitories. What also is important, that sometimes in Hamburg they organize lotteries, and I think that it's the most humiliating process ever, because like 45 people coming and they're giving numbers to everyone, and there are, for example, 25 rooms free, and they are written like the list of rooms on the board. And then if you got first number, you choose first room, then the second person chooses like as the second, like, and so on. The smaller number you get, the better room you will get also. And what happens a lot, that they invite way more people when the rooms are available. And can you imagine, you're waiting for your room for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months, still nothing. You're like renting like some hotel room, some apartment or something like that. And then you're coming to this lottery, you get some 30 number, and then you just don't get room. And there were people who were like crying there because they didn't have place to go. And sometimes there are people who are coming with their luggage, saying that they just have like they don't have place to live. And they were like, yeah, we will sleep here on the floor if you won't give us a room. I also had pretty bad story about private dormitory, because before that I got a room at the private dormitory, and in my room there was mold, and it was super bad. We tried to use chlor and different stuff to remove it. At the end of the day, I got an allergy, and I just woke up with super big swollen eyes. And and also what's important, I advise you to read any contracts you sign, because after that I found out that I can stop my contract, and so I need to write email about that like 3 months before I want to do that. And when I got like a social apartment or a social dormitory room, I just called the woman who was a director of our chef of our private dormitory, and I kindly asked her, let me go. And she said that she will try to find somebody, and I will get only part of my money back. So talking about accommodation, first thing what you need to do, apply for social dormitory. You need to do it like around 1 year before you will move to Germany. 6 months before you move to Germany, you can begin to search for private dormitory rooms. You just need to write every private dormitory and ask if they have some places. You need to send your CV. And usually it works out if you apply so early. Also, what you can do, there are different websites like Immobilie where you can look for an apartment. But I can say that apartments, for example, in Hamburg or like any big cities are super expensive, and I can't imagine that a student can really pay for that. You can also rent a room in a WG. WG, it's like an apartment which is shared by multiple students. It is also possible, but to be honest, I never heard about somebody's experience about that. Most of my friends there are living in dormitories.
What about social contacts? Like, was it difficult to build new relationships, find new friends in Germany, in another country? And why did you decide like to stay? Okay, like I understand, like from a studying point of view, like why did you decide to stay in Germany? But like, wasn't it a bit scary, leaving your friends, like your family, in another country, and like consciously stay in another country for several years? Like, how do you manage with this situation? Do you probably experience homesick, or?
I can say that it was easy. I mean, I already lived separately with my family. They are living in my hometown, Samar now, and I lived in St. Petersburg, and now I'm living here in Hamburg. But you know, it's anyway you need to fly home, so it doesn't make any difference for me if I live in St. Petersburg or here. Friends, the problem is that a couple of years ago, before I moved to Germany, I already knew that most likely I will go for exchange semester and most likely I will try to go for a longer time. So I tried on purpose not to build too many connections. I remember a lot of people say to me, you will meet some guy, fall in love, and you will never go to Germany. And I was so afraid that it will really happen. And people will say, oh, we say that it will happen, so on. So every time some guy tried to invite me on a date, I was like, I'm moving to Germany. Bye. He was like, when? I was like, yeah, one day. So it was like that, and I had only probably 2-3 close friends before moving to Germany, and I'm still talking with one of them. 2 others, I don't know, it just didn't work out. It's difficult to support relationships and keep relationships on the same level when you move to another country. It's sad, and every time you think about that before moving, you think, yeah, okay, it won't happen with us. We're so close and so on, but then it happens and you're like, okay. I don't want to say that I'm guilty or these people are guilty. I just think it's life. Good news are that you will find new friends. And I think it's cool. I mean, when I moved to Germany, a lot of people tried to scare me that Germans are super closed, which is kind of true. But I imagined a different way. I imagined that I will say hello to people and they will just look at me like I'm crazy and run away. It's not what happened. So I think Germans, they love small talks. But when it comes to close friendship, it's super difficult to build it with them. And sometimes it happens that people work together on the project for, I don't know, 6 months, or living together in the apartment, seeing each other every day, talking every day. And then they move out of the apartment or they finish the module at university and they don't even say hi to each other. Yeah, and it happens a lot. I just want to say that you need to be ready to face it and you need to handle it already, like knowing that something like that can happen. So not falling in love with people immediately. The good news are that there are a lot of international students from India, from Turkey, from, I don't know, France, and so on and so on. And you can always find people who will share, I don't know, your views. I heard from a lot of people that after you move to another country, you need to talk only with, I don't know, with people out of your language to improve your language. I disagree. I think it's just stupid to separate people by language they talk. I mean, I heard that some Russian students said, I don't want to be friends or talk with Indian people because they have strong accent and my English want to be improved with them. And I think it's the strange thing to say because you find friends not to involve yourself. You find friends to get some support, to spend time together, like enjoy time together. Just be ready to be open to every culture, every language, and be ready to begin conversations, small talks, and so on. And be ready that sometimes people won't be as open as you, but it doesn't matter because you will find people who will like you anyway.
Yeah, I think that this is true. You also mentioned that you were looking for friends to, like, I don't know, have do something together, right? To have fun together.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of activities did you do? Like probably traveling, or I don't know, having dinners together, or like hang out in park.
Yeah, most of my friends are colleagues from my work. Yeah, we went out together. We have eaten a lot of Indian food. We played mini golf. We played badminton. We watched movies together. what's actually interesting, a lot of Germans like to invite you somewhere. They're like, oh, we need to grab some coffee, or let's go like to the cinema or something like that. And then nothing happens. And it's so common. They always do it, almost always do that at the end of the small talk. Like, we need to meet to next week, or we need to go somewhere. Let's grab a coffee next week. And nothing happened after that. At the beginning, you're super confused. And you try to set up a date, because you're like, okay, person invited me, probably I need to set up. But then you realize that it was just polite way to say bye. And you also begin to do that. It's the worst part. Yeah, but you just need to be ready. And yeah, I didn't know about that. I thought if person says something like, let's grab a coffee next week, it means that we really will go and drink coffee. Sometimes it happens, but sometimes you both forget and you didn't really want to go, and you're like, okay, it doesn't matter.
But probably your German then increased in quality, right?
Actually, I realized that my German became worse after I moved to Germany. And I heard about that from a lot of people. The problem is that not a lot of people in Germany speak in German. For example, in the office, mostly I talk in English. All my friends mostly also talk in English. And even German people with whom I talk, if somebody is with us and somebody can speak German, of course we will talk in English. So I really feel like my German became worse.
Okay, probably then your English really developed.
Yes, my English really developed. I think most of the people won't agree with that, but trust me, when I just came to Germany, my English was super bad. I couldn't even say one sentence. So bad. I translated everything. I think my level was B1 or something B1.2, but I mean, on papers it was like that, but in the life, no.
But what about you in general? Do you feel that you changed, that this international experience changed you, your personality for better, for worse, or I don't know, neutral?
I think I became less anxious about a lot of small things, tiny things, because all this process of moving to another country is so stressful, and you begin to understand which kind of problems are worth your attention and which kind of problems you can not care about that. I also became more open to other cultures, 100%, and I'm always super curious about other people's tradition and so on and so on. Especially we talk a lot about weddings in the office, because we have people from around the world, and some of them are getting married, and we're discussing how different it is by every country. But when you think about that, living in Russia, you think yeah, it's just probably they have different dresses or something like that. But no, there are a lot of stuff behind that. And I think it's cool. I think it's cool to get to know more people, more cultures. And I think that's something everyone needs to do, because I think it's the only one way to live in peace together, to understand each other. Except that I began to sort trash.
Oh, this sounds like a very challenging thing, actually.
Yes, when I moved to Germany, it was such a disaster because I couldn't understand where to throw what. Now I get used to that, and now when I come to Russia, I'm walking around my house with a plastic bottle, and I can't understand where is a bag for plastic trash. And every time I need to think, oh no, we have only one bag for trash, right? I mean, but it feels so legal to throw away plastic bottle at home to the same bag where you throw away biological trash and so on. I don't know, but it's something what is really deep in your brain.
So you became more aware of ecological problems in the world and more caring about it.
I can say that I became more aware about ecology, right? Or global warming and so on. Germans are super focused on that. I can't really say that I know more about that now. It's just something you get to use, like following rules. Germany, Ordnung muss sein.
Okay.
Yeah, Ordnung muss sein, it means that, you just need to follow rules, something like that. Technically. Yeah.
Actually, what about other social services in Germany? If you had any experience, like facing with them, like hospitals or banks or something like this, because I heard about like bureaucracy, paper-based bureaucracy, and etc. And just like
Different social services which work with foreigners, they still expect from you to speak in German. Last time when I switched my residence permit, there was a guy from China who was studying at university for, 2 or 3 years, and he couldn't understand anything in German. And the worker was so pissed off. And I translated everything. He just found me somehow and asked me to translate. And she said after that to me that if this guy will come again without knowing German, then she won't accept his documents or something like that. I mean, not all workers are like that. Some are okay speaking in English. I mostly speak in German with them. But sometimes it happens. And when we're talking about healthcare system, I can say it's good if something urgent will happen, something really bad, like you will be dying, something like that, or you broke something, then it works good. But if you are just sick, or I don't know, you got poisoned, something like that, it works really bad. It's impossible to get an appointment. Usually you need to wait from 1 to 2 days. There is something what people call Notfalltermin, emergency appointment. You can call to your doctor and get it probably on the next day or the same day if you will call early in the morning, directly after the hospital will be opened. But it's super difficult. And banking system. So when I just came to Germany, I was so confused that when you send money to somebody, they will get it only in 2-3 days. And it's also important to know that because, for example, if you need to pay for your rent, I don't know, till 13, then you need to pay in advance, like 3 or 4 days before, for the owner of the apartment to get your payment.
Also, I think that the last question that I didn't really ask is about your studying, because you just mentioned that you are studying business informatics. But what can you say about this? About this trajectory in general? Because when you were applying for your bachelor's, I think it was something really in trend, right? And like a lot of people like saw this field of kind of promising.
I think it's still kind of promising. I mean, business informatics, it's like 50% of business, 50% of IT. So during your studying, you can decide and you can move to only informatics only to business, or you can just be a project manager and IT teams. You have a lot of options, and that's what I really liked, because I didn't want to go to IT, to software engineering, for example, or programming, and I don't know, just having these skills, I wanted to have more options. Why did I choose this program? Because I liked mathematics, but I also kind of liked social science, and I also kind of liked informatics, and it was difficult to find something what would combine all of these spheres. And then one day I suddenly got to know about this program from one of my friends because her sister studied there. And after that, I decided that I also want to go into this direction. And what's funny, after that, I found out that this program, this trajectory, is super popular in Germany. And it actually was created in Germany.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, And I actually used it after that in every motivational letter. There's like, it's a new program in Russia and nobody knows what to do with us. And in Germany, it's already settled and they had great programs and they know what to do. And that's why I need to go to Germany, because I already used everything what I could in Russia. I got already enough knowledge.
Very interesting. Okay, I think that it is kind of possible to wrap up. So I think that I give you an opportunity to say something in the end of your interview.
Just enjoy your new experience. Try to get the best out of it.
Very good piece of advice. Thank you very much, Olga. It was really nice to talk to you. Share this podcast also if you like it and support us with your feedback. Always do your best and live with all your heart. Olga and Vadim were with you today. Stay tuned to this More Than Studying podcast.